Alright, so what's scheduled for this week's video? Alrighty. Hey there, I'm the Spectre, and I'd bet good money on you knowing what a Pokemon is. The Pokemon franchise is... Wait, what's that noise? Super Smash Bros. 5 was announced, and people have been going batshit crazy. People are speculating who will be included, whether it's a port or a sequel, and most importantly, who the hell are these silhouettes? Spoilers, this is the correct answer. With everyone speculating about everything, I thought it would be a good idea to throw my 2 cents in, specifically in the character department. There are, however, an insane amount of characters I would like to see, so many that I'm going to split this into 2 videos. Today will be first party, and the next video will be third party, as well as indie. Today I'm going to be telling you the first party characters I want in Super Smash Bros. For Switch, as well as why I believe they're likely, and some potential move ideas. Before we begin, I want to mention that I have not played every video game out there, and I do not know a whole lot about games I have not played, most notably the Legend of Zelda and Fire Emblem franchises. So all the characters included will be from games that I have played. Let's start strong with the Mario franchise and its sexiest character, Waluigi. Despite never appearing in a main series game, Waluigi is one of the most popular characters in the franchise, likely due to him appearing in nearly every sports, party, and kart game. Due to his immense popularity and potential for a unique moveset, I believe Waluigi is quite likely to make it in. As for movesets, it's pretty darn obvious that it would revolve around the spin-off games, especially considering very few other Mario characters utilize moves from these games. His standard moves could consist of swinging around a tennis racket, maybe punching like in numerous Mario Party games. As for specials, utilizing a vehicle from Mario Kart similar to Wario's motorbike as a side special makes far too much sense. I thought a cool idea for his standard special could be a dice block from Mario Party, which could appear over his head. When hit, it will release a number that will bounce around for a second or two, causing more damage if the number is higher, similarly to Game & Watch's Judgment. For recovery, he could perform a dunk like in Mario Hoops, or do a fancy bounce like he does off a trampoline in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. As for a final smash, what if he were to start dancing, and arrows from Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix could move around the screen? It's a really wacky idea, but he did play a somewhat big role in that game, so it makes sense. It's a really wacky moveset for a really wacky character. One thing a lot of people seem to be thinking is that Mario's moveset will be based around using Cappy. I, however, believe that this is quite far-fetched. Most characters' movesets have barely changed over the years, especially characters from the first game, which, surprise surprise, includes Mr. Mushrooms himself. So what if instead of incorporating Cappy into his moveset, Cappy was a character of his own? Think about it, he has so many possible movements he could do for his standards, such as being thrown up, down, forward, or in circles. And his other attacks could be transforming into enemies from the game, such as a Bullet Bill for his side special, throwing hammers as a Hammer Bro for his neutral special, spitting up poison as a Piranha Plant for his down special, turning into an Uproot or Glidon for his recovery, and stabbing a Pokio for his smash attacks. For his final smash, he could transform into a T-Rex and frick everyone up. It would be a really interesting moveset that would not only be a ton of fun to use, but also include Cappy in the game somehow. And considering how much of a success Odyssey was, that has to be a good thing, as it would advertise the game to the millions of Odyssey fans out there. Because of this, I think Cappy is very likely to make it in. Bandana Waddle Dee has been a staple of the Kirby franchise ever since Return to Dreamland, and a very popular staple at that, so he's pretty darn likely to make it in a Smash. The only real problem I could see with including Bandana Dee is his moveset. It would obviously revolve around attacks with both the Parasol and the Spear, as he's been known to wield both. But that's honestly it. I guess Nintendo will just have to get creative with the 2 weapons. As for attacks I can name, a Parasol Dash would make a good side special, and the Spear Helicopter would make an obvious recovery. Other than that, Spear Jabs and Parasol Swings in different directions is all I can really think of. I had a bit of trouble thinking up a final smash from Bandana Waddle Dee at first, but then I realized. What if he had DDD's final smash from Brawl? He could summon a bunch of Waddle Dees and Doos and maybe even a Gordo or 2 to rape the opponents. That's honestly all I could think of. maybe Hal could be a bit more creative than I am when coming up with a moveset. After all, they did create the little guy. Kirby's had a solid amount of games, but in most of those games he has the exact same moveset. He can suck and spit out opponents, slide, float, or copy his enemies' abilities to gain some cool powers. This moveset does work, and it is really enjoyable to use due to its ease of control and possible combos that feel really fluent, but that doesn't change the fact that it's constantly repeated between installments. There are, however, exceptions to this rule, the most notable of which is Kirby's Epic Yarn. In this game, Kirby's usual ability to suck is replaced with a whip of yarn. Along with that, he can turn into a weight to perform a ground pound of sorts, turn into a parachute to fall slowly, or turn into a car to move quickly. There are also countless of special transformations that can be done by touching one of these transformation bubble thingies, such as a starship, tank, or UFO. Kirby's moveset in this game is really unique, and like with regular Kirby, controls fluently and is a blast to use. So, what if they made a Smash character out of this? Yarn Kirby would work, however, since regular Kirby is already a character, I believe it would make more sense to use the game's original character, Prince Fluff. He could whip in different directions for his standards, and for his specials, he could utilize the game's different transformations. His down special could be turned into a weight that would act similarly to Yoshi's Yoshi Bomb move, and his side special could be turned into a car. They could even incorporate some of the special transformations into his moveset, such as turning into a rocket to recover or using the mole's claws for smash attacks. As for a final smash, the tank bot is pretty freaking obvious. Rolling around, swinging a massive fist of death, and no, I'm not talking about your penis. It would be an incredibly fun and unique moveset that, like in the actual game, would flow very nicely and be quite enjoyable to use. Another one of Kirby's more unique titles, and my personal favorite, would be Planet Robobot. As opposed to Kirby's usual nature-filled groups of levels, this game opts for a more technological theme, and I absolutely adore it, but that's besides the point. In the game, Kirby utilizes the Robobot armor, a powerful piece of machinery that allows for a completely different moveset, including copy abilities. Now, we could opt for Kirby and the Robobot, but instead, let's give Susie a shot. The secretary of the Hultman Works Company owns a robot of her own, and what does vary drastically from the one Kirby uses, I see no reason why they can't combine the two movesets. Her standard and smash moves could be the different punches and slams utilized by Kirby's regular and stone robots. Her special moves, on the other hand, could consist of moves unique to her. Her standard could be firing tops, her side special could be a rush attack similar to the one she does to the middle of the arena during a boss fight, her down special could be a powerful but slow spin attack, and her up special could just be her rocketing up. For her final smash, mayhaps she could summon Stardream to wreak havoc on the battlefield. This moveset seems incredibly unique and satisfying to utilize. I especially love the final smash, as Stardream is probably one of my favorite bosses in all of gaming due to the suspense surrounding it, as well as the shooter style and the amazing themes. Overall, Susie seems like she would be insanely fun to use, and a relatively unique character as well. The most notable group of Pokemon to be introduced in Generation 7 is definitely the Ultra Beast. These were really important to the stories in both the original and Ultra games, debatably even more so than the cover legendaries. Of the 11 Pokemon, none are more fitting for the role of the playable character in Smash than UB02 Absorption, more commonly known as Buzzwole. Look at those fists! Obviously his moveset would revolve around a variety of punches and slam moves using those massive fists of his. Especially the smash attacks, because they look like it could knock a vehicle into outer space with a single punch. Of course, punching shouldn't be his entire moveset. This big boy has a second type that has yet to be represented in Smash: Bug. Leech Life makes a ton of sense for his neutral special, as it's kinda what he's known for. Just jab the opponent with that giant mouth of his, and maybe gain some temporary strength? You see, according to the Aether Foundation, Buzzwole can suck the strength out of his opponents. As for other moves, Lunge as a side special could make a whole lot of sense, with this hunk of a bug launching himself at his opponents. And I know he can't learn it in the Pokemon games, but they could potentially give him Sky Uppercut as a recovery move. I looked through his Pokemon moves and I honestly had no clue what they could do for a final smash. If Buzzwole were to be included, they might just have to make something up. While Buzzle wouldn't exactly be the most unique character in the world, he would still be a ton of fun to use, and his absorption mechanic would make him a threat if you didn't take him out quickly. Plus, just look at this guy and tell me with a straight face that he wouldn't kick ass in a fighting game. You can't. It's just too perfect. Of the 80-ish Mons introduced in Gen 7, the most popular would definitely be Rowlet. But Mimikyu makes a close second. This poor Pokemon wants nothing more than attention, and we can give it said attention by including it in Smash. Its typing is the incredibly unique Ghost Fairy. Ghost has yet to be represented in the Smash game, and while we do have Jigglypuff for Fairy, she still retains most of her moves from before the Fairy type existed, so I think it's fair to include another one. One cool thing they could do with Mimikyu is give it its disguise ability, making it so that the first hit landed with every stock doesn't do squat. For standard moves, it could use moves such as Shadow Claw to slash at the opponent, play rough as a side to beat them to shreds, maybe even astonish. As for specials, Shadow Ball as a neutral makes a solid chunk of sense, and Shadow Sneak as a side would work really well. Other than that, I really don't know what they could do. Mayhaps they could give Mimikyu Sword Stance as a down to get a temporary boost in its power? As for a final smash, wouldn't it be cool if Mimikyu grabbed a nearby opponent and showed them its true self? It is said that those who view Mimikyu without this disguise die instantly, so I think it would work really well. I know I say this for almost every entry, but Mimikyu's moveset would be really unique, and make it stand out among a crowd of mostly bright and colored and happy fighters in the game. Besides, who doesn't love Mimikyu? Before we go, I have one last character to show you. Let me tell you, I definitely saved the best for last. Sure, he isn't likely whatsoever. Hell, most people may only see him as a joke character. But we did get the Wii Fit trainer in the last game, so who knows? And more importantly, who cares? Ladies and gentlemen, Party Phil. The wacky host of Wii Party may not seem like he could do much at first, but what if he were to do moves based off the mini-games in Wii Party and its sequel? He could bash opponents with an extendable fist for a smash attack. For standards, he could chop some wood in half like in Lumber Wax, use the axe from Timber Topple, or slice opponents with a blade from Chop Chops. For specials, he could throw the Beach Ball from Splash Bash for his neutral, ride in the Teal from Super Snow Sliders for his side, launch a Firework for his down from Lucky Launch because why the fuck not, and rocket through space like in Space Brawl or Cosmic Capers for his recovery. And as for his final smash, summon an army of me's! This is only scratching the surface of the hundreds of minigames that Wii Party has. His moveset could be so varied and unique, but more than anything else, look at that face. This has been the Spectre, and remember to have fun, stay safe, and hold on, I think you see one more silhouette in the fire. Oh my God.